Hello everyone, this is Lo and I'm going to cast this under 1500 tournament game. This map is Roanoke and game between BrutalMustache, playing as Pink Aeon, and System Failure, playing his dark metal color Cybran. As far as I remember, it's semi-finals game. So let's go and try casting it. Maybe you can set +1 in the beginning stage. Looks like players had slow loading because of alt tabbing. Interesting build order for BrutalMustache. Interesting patrol order for System Failure. System Failure is blocking this U very early. Weird. Let's see. BrutalMustache is stalling while making T1 mass extractor, which makes construction very long. That's one of the typical mistakes that you get when you're trying to do very efficient build order. You just have to pause your ACU for a second. So at least T1 mass extractors, you probably think that it's the cheapest thing in the world, but you have to like make them finish construction, make engineers finish this construction, because otherwise it's kind of bad. But you can see everything that he has is trying to build, and he's not moving ECU. ECU is constantly building, so that's why he's ahead on score. And also engineers assist ECU. How much pigeon? 1, 2, 8 pigeons. Let's look at system failure. So he only built 3 pigeons with ECU, but he is making power spam with no, I guess it's just build order with three engineers, but he's only making air factory with one engineer, which is a little weird. It looks like this ranged reclaim stuff from factory. If he wants mass, he should have put it a little bit in the middle, this mass field. So here comes air factory. Let's see. Oh, it's very early naval factory and a frigate. No naval factory yet for BrutalMustache. He starts with interceptor and scout. And if he is going for transport interception, that might be quite good for him, because his opponent doesn't rush transport at all. I feel like as if I have worse performance than it was in last cast. Strange. So far he's scouting. Usually at this point, transport would already be on almost on halfway to the island, I think, depending on your build order, of course. Looks like BrutalMustache and system failure as well don't really rush transports. I guess BrutalMustache transport is quite fast, but he's not assisting, he's not really hasting, he upgrading mass extractors meanwhile. Looks like a reactionary naval production, because I think he saw his opponent naval production, and actually can be good for system failure. He will push his frigates all the way here. He will at least have something that he can deny, because, well, right now his frigates don't have that much to kill except for Max's main base, which is of course not bad, but still. looks like frigate is idle for now. Unfortunately, he will not have this idle icon. Maybe right now he will pay attention. Already 3 frigates on the field, while there are only 30% of 1 frigate for BrutalMustache. But BrutalMustache did drop NGs. It's like System Failure finally going for a drop. Stalling hard, so he decided not assist it, which is kind of smart. Instead of assisting, it still will be better to get at least some trees. Transport will be earlier. So he's not ego whoring here, he's getting factory first instead of just getting nexus sets. Of course, I guess it's obvious. System Failure is not getting his nexus really fast. I guess even faster than this drop, but still. This can be good for System Failure. He don't have that much air, but he has 2 bombers in the area and local kind of air control. You can see interceptors are moving to protect this expansion. Actually, they will protect it. This expansion will be BrutalMustache expansions. He's even getting himself a mass boost here on the stone. Well, I say it because there is a factory that he managed to build. He split his engineers and managed to build a factory. Now he can produce more engineers, produce entire if needed. Of course, that's great delay on everything that he has. And if System Failure would decide to build a factory already and load all the engineers in transport and drop here again and maybe make PD in his own factories, it would be really good for him. Actually, it may be really good, but it's kind of risky, of course. So BrutalMustache keeping upgrading maxes one by one. System Failure is assisting his first max upgrade right now. Is it really well? Yes, it's good to assist right now. It's a very good decision, I think. Yeah, he got that max. Would be nice to get some power. At this point, you can see mass and power and com comparable to each other in a way that you would not able to produce much air at that point. And you are going to increase your mass production soon, so power spam right now would be wise. BrutalMustache is ahead of power, building some more at a steady rate. 3 air factories with adjacency. It looks like he is really lacking power. If you lack power that much for that long, you can actually just press stop for your air factories and queue, say, 3-4 engineers and produce air again. It can be useful, so your factory is not idle. Your factory can produce some engineers, so you can use assist instead of more factories, which is quite good. And quite early T2 on this map. Still T1 and T1 seems to be planned. T1 only seems to be planned. BrutalMustache doesn't feel very confident. Was scared about this frigate numbers here, but they did retreat. Despite having bigger numbers, they retreat and they are not running around this island, which is pretty bad. Auroras, I mean, he's trying to counter Auroras by building 2 PDs in this corner, but he has frigates and he can just dispatch 1 frigate at each side, and if he will see Auroras, he can produce those PDs. If he suddenly will not able to kill Auroras with frigates, which is actually very easy, especially with Cybran. Well, I'm not even sure why especially, but and PD is not in front of a max, so it can't even protect it from frigate fire. So BrutalMustache doing the right thing, he's raiding this island with frigates. 2 maxes are down, while System Failure is doing much more drastic thing. He's attacking enemy naval production, so his opponent will not have an option to harass his maxes, his 4 maxes anywhere on the map, like 4 maxes his main, 4 maxes all sides. He will not able to harass those maxes with the T2 naval. However, he's fighting right around this ACU and all those factories, so he's giving reclaim right now, quite a lot of reclaim. Good retreat from, well, relatively good retreat, because frigates don't shoot while they retreat. And right now already BrutalMustache has more frigates, at least in this area. So you can see it was pretty bad decision for System Failure to attack like that. He denied to naval for some time, but he gives reclaim, he fights not cost efficiently, he's not harassing Nexus. What he should do is this, running against enemy superior force, but you should just run around island and kill Nexus one by one constantly. And we can see actually that BrutalMustache is entering his island Nexus, which is great, because there are no he's not losing Navy at least. And there will be no time soon when this destroyer can go and kill those T2 maxes. Yeah, you can see how it should be done. You using small force to distract big force, you still harass your opponent. Yeah, like that as well. Still, he's using small force, he's dealing damage, and he forcing his opponent to use bigger force to protect his expansion. This can be annoying. You can see that eco numbers are similar, because System Failure has upgraded his core mass extractors. Actually, just 4 of them, which is a little bit surprising. I guess System Failure has just a few little more mass extractors on T1 captured, and he recently harassed his opponent T1 mass extractors here, so honestly I'm not really sure how he's getting eco advantage right now. I mean, if we look at the numbers here, maybe it's reclaim. Well, it's also not clear, because BrutalMustache should have reclaimed here, but he's not reclaiming actually. First destroyer is out. So that's Aeon destroyer, and for both players destroyer is out. Aeon destroyer is not really great against frigates if they are micro, but it actually quite, I think it's considered to be strongest T2 naval unit of all T2 naval units, and strongest destroyer, strongest torpedo unit. Biggest weakness is low fire rate. I mean, if you fight with these destroyers against frigates, it might be not that great, but if you kite enemy frigates with your torpedo range, which is bigger, you can see this green circle, which is bigger than frigate range, you can actually do quite well. I mean, these torpedoes can do quite well. Let's see, did it actually hit on his first shot? It almost never hits anyway. It can actually miss, even if target is not moving. It can miss if target is not moving and destroyer is moving. So far it killed, let's say, 2 shots landed, but 3 shots landed, but when it does, I mean, it's just can 2-shot a frigate, so it is quite good destroyer, and torpedo damage is very significant. And in the beginning of this battle, it looked very well for system failure. It actually still looks okay for system failure, but these destroyers survive, and they can bombard from range, but never hit well. If you get close, you will get damaged with good torpedo DPS. So far, it's a slight win for system failure in the middle, and he also reinforcing this position. If he can drop engineers here, he may have a chance to win a game. If he will keep fighting and win and secure this, he will win a game with this reclaim, I think. I mean, maybe not win a game because he's actually behind on economy, but he will have great chances. You can see when it hits, it does hurt a lot, but mainly it doesn't hit. I mean, Cybran, they do hit, but they are not drastically better. Actually, no defense on this island. However, there are a lot of engineers, so whenever he wants, he can just build a PD. 3k masses is in storage. I guess he really should spam some T2 engineers or T1 engineers or just extra factories, because when he's ahead like that, he can just build more frigates, because looks like score is on. A great harassment here, just dispatching a few frigates to kill those maxes. Not much harassment happening at all in this game, and as well as you can see, air game is not happening as well. I mean, there are gunships, but I guess that's something that BrutalMustache can sink his mess into. I mean, produce aggressive units on all tech levels and all of all types, because aggressive units cost more, I guess. So he will able to spend his resources at least on something. So destroyers are not doing that bad, but well, not good enough against superior number of cyber frigates. When you're like that in close combat against enemy destroyers, Aeon destroyers are exceptionally good. After numbers got much lower, gunships going into play, and you can see frigates anti-air is not in range, and frigates fighting factories right now while destroyers are dying. I mean, anti-air is not killing those gunships, but I guess it's fine because they're interceptors, but still. And frigates were shooting at those destroyers. It wasn't great for system failure. It looks like he is doing good, but this destroyer alone can kill all those frigates. Even if it never hits, I think it can still kill all those frigates with just his torpedo DPS. Reinforcements are still coming for system failure, so far this game is still interesting. You see great harassment by BrutalMustache on the right island, and good harassment by Wagner's, but so far they only killed one extractor because storages and T2 extractors have too much HP. Like, everything just ignores those Wagner's. One storage died. Great. So most important is happening in the middle, because system failure doesn't focus on harass, he just all-ins forward with what he has, and because he wasn't ecoing that much, he just has more units, which is quite natural. when you don't equally have more units than your opponent, so you get more cost-effective engagement and you can push forward, leaving reclaim for you. So that's the benefit of aggressive strategy. So benefit of defensive strategy for BrutalMustache is that he has torpedo launchers, he has defensive position, he has reclaim closer to his base, and he had more time to eco. But so far, he doesn't have other production anywhere else except this HQ and two factories which are dying. He has great protection against frigates. It's going to be 5 torpedo launchers, which is actually really good. And that's what he needs. He needs to protect those destroyers against frigates. Frigates are streaming in and dying to torpedo launchers. And looking at the G2 naval numbers, BrutalMustache is ahead, and well, you can micro the destroyer, but it's hard to migrate all the time. Yeah, and harassment is still going. Repairing mass extractor. And BrutalMustache actually reminds system failures that he is being attacked. And maybe he will also reveal Nexus. So far, this is still defended just by Auroras. Those units are not cheap. Looks like not enough dodging against those Aeon Destroyers. BrutalMustache is barely keeping himself alive here, but there is a big problem that he only has one factory and he only making destroyers. I mean, if frigates will just came in and kill engineers will just kill engineers and die to the torpedo launchers, then this T2 stuff can finish everything else. I mean, he could just block a factory here. Still no proxy production started or system failure. It looks very good for system failure actually right now. He just he's just winning Navy, and that's all you need. My god, looks like we have RAS upgrade. That's something I did miss. Looks like air production for BrutalMustache wasn't great for all this time, but he had 4 G2 pigeons all this time, so without breaking much sweat, he easily upgraded to Tech 3 air. And he is getting proxy air production on the island. Looks like on both islands, and there is only one cruiser. Frigates will be extremely annoying right now, as well as destroyers, of course, which actually destroyers can harass this HQ and harass these engineers very easily. They're very close here, getting Tech 3 torpedo launchers. System failure is in water, and only thing that he needs to do is get stealth and walk somewhere, like somewhere when he can't be found, or just get stealth and get a lot of anti-air and be next to the coastline with a shield on a coast. After Tech 3 HQ will die, he will not able to produce T2 torpedo launchers any longer. Actually, he has extra HQ, so never mind. He will able to produce whatever he wants. So it seems like time is on system failure side right now. BrutalMustache is running to the corner. Hopefully, he just hopes that the destroyers will not chase him down. So this mass extractor might get critical intel, but no, it will not. Scouts are queued up to go here. BrutalMustache is massing up torpedo bombers. He already has enough to kill system failure ACU in one pass, I believe. Actually, I might be wrong. Might be not in one pass. All air is going to the system failure ACU. He really should get stealth and get closer to the cost, because one tech 3, that's 4000 damage, and each one of those 600. And tech 3 will not die first pass. He's going to the land, which is great for him, but gunships are still alive, and they might avoid this anti-air because it's quite short range. If he walks too much to the side, gunships will not get hit. He's not going to the water, so he will not accidentally die because he's going to the water. Actually, he's going to the water, and there are a lot of torpedo bombers still alive. Actually, no, not a lot. No T2, no shield, no T2 upgrade on ACU, no stealth, but it is enough to survive. And BrutalMustache is being found here. Wonder how much torpedo bombers stuck.
Under attack.
Wow, he actually has 3 tech 3 ones. Looks like he wasn't sure where. Oh, he pinged commander here. Wow. For himself to remind. But right now it's on land, so very unfortunate. Here's ACU. Got T2 upgrade on itself. And BrutalMustache is dead. So that's the game. The name of the game was Naval Rush by system failure against economy play, kind of, by BrutalMustache. So he was forced out of the water, so he was forced to use his other stuff, like gunships. I don't know, he built RAS actually, yeah. So that doesn't make much sense to make RAS if you're barely holding on Navy. Maybe hit that he will fold, but well, just needed more production on the naval. He could actually use hover spam. He had advantage on naval, so hover spam would be great. Aeon hover units are not very strong, but at least you can drain fire. I don't know how lure fire of these destroyers, because they miss a lot. So I think making proxy naval productions here with its own extra torpedo launchers on both sides would be ideal for BrutalMustache. That's what he needed to win this game. System failure, as we saw, he was harassed here. His start wasn't so great as BrutalMustache start and economy, everything, but his strategy was very straightforward and strong. He just goes in with superior number of frigates, and because he has superior number of frigates, he can kill enemy frigates without losing much of his own frigates, and just win Navy. And T2 Destroyer is a game ender on this map, as well as a cruiser, I guess, for Cyber, because you can reach any point on this map. I mean, you can theoretically make T2 artillery installations on one island or even two islands, but never on three islands. And even losing one island is already very bad. And another theoretical measure against Tito Navy on this map is Tech 3 PDs, but there are no Tech 3 PDs. Air can be used, but if opponent just switches to the cruisers, it will be impossible to keep using air, because, well, it's actually still possible, but it will be very hard. I guess that's it for this game. It's ended already almost a minute ago, I guess. Should stop talking. I kinda want to say something else. I guess it's under 1500 rating tournament, but another bad thing that there wasn't much reclaim in this game. Neither player, I think actually neither player took advantage over his position. Like, advantage because he's in defensive position, he can get some reclaim because there were suiciding frigates, and system failure in attacking position, he was pushing forward, winning battles, but he didn't grab this reclaim. That's really a shame. T1 PGs against Auroras. Maybe they're just T1 PDs for safety of anything with drops, but there were no Aurora harassment, I think. Almost at all, again, amount of BrutalMustache, but that's still a factory strength. People have to consider option of over harassment and have to think about defending against it. And we can see that system failure just has one T2 pigeon. He was focusing on naval production, and it doesn't take so much power, while BrutalMustache built 4 T2 pigeons, didn't reclaim his T1 afterwards, and he had RAS. And he had more economy than his opponent, but he still lost. I guess RAS was really not what he needed. Anything would be better than RAS. Literally anything would be better than RAS. I mean, even T2PDs, even T2 artillery, even more shields, even, I don't know, hover, more T1 factories, and trying to use air, hover harassment would be great. I mean, few hover units at the back or few frigates would already force bigger response from his opponent, because if you send one frigate, his opponent will have to send one frigate more than what did you set to kill your frigate. Well, you can actually kill it with 1v1, but you want to be sure that you will eliminate harassment. So usually people send two. Well, I guess this roanoke map is a really nice map. There are a lot of different strategies, but you can see the basic one, winning navy, switching to T2 navy, is still very strong. Okay, this is over. So thanks for watching. See you in the next cast.